How's it going, people? It's Charlotte, and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing as well as you can be today on this Sunday afternoon. I mean, yeah, was a very frustrating one yesterday. To be honest, I'm glad that I didn't do this video straight after the game because there would have been some quite raw emotion there. I was gutted, to say the least. Obviously, pre-game, I was very nervous. I thought it was going to be like 2-3 nil to West Ham, if I'm honest. I didn't expect us to play as well as what we did, um, especially first half. But we'll be able to get into that in a second. But as always, guys, please show some support by smashing the like on this video. Please subscribe as well and share your thoughts and opinions on yesterday's game in the comment section. And let's get into it. So then, guys, let's get into it properly then. So, as I just said then, I didn't expect us to play as well as what we actually did. I thought first half, for the whole of the first half, we blew them away, if I'm honest. Yeah, they had a few half chances, and they did look very threatening when they were on the break, but I thought we handled it quite well. Special mention to Charlie Cresswell. What a player that lad is going to be. He did not look out of place in that back four at all. It didn't look like it was his debut. It looked like he'd been playing in this league for a few years now. But honestly, unreal. I thought he handled Antonio very well overall in the whole game, if I'm honest. We'll get on to what Antonio did in a little bit. But yeah, I thought other than that, he handled him really well, if I'm honest. And Shaq's at right back as well. I must admit, Shaq's played better in that game than what Luke Ayling has done all season, in my opinion. That's not me slagging Ayling off. I think as for Ayling and maybe Dallas as well, I just don't think they've been quite at it yet this season. They're not hitting those heights of last season, which, yeah, last season, I think to a lot of people, we overachieved. Um, I can understand why people think that to an extent, but I still feel that we fully deserved a ninth place finish last season. I'll be honest, I don't think that's going to happen now. I know it's only 6 games in, but I think we need to be like realistic with what's achievable now. But yeah, as for the first half, then Rafinha was playing out of his skin, ending careers with the nutmegs, and just looked threatening every time he had possession of the ball. We take the lead with about 20 minutes gone. Really good counter attack play. Rodrigo down the left hand side sees Click, he plays it into Click, and then Click just tees it up nicely for Rafinha to slot it home and make it 1-0. Elland Road absolutely bouncing. The away end silenced. West Ham fans were poor again. I think every Premier League team that comes to Elland Road only sing when they've scored a goal or if they win the game. We sing throughout the whole game. Their fans just perked up when they scored, basically. But yeah, the away end was silenced, and you could actually see their fans in their end, like they were all like that, and they were like, all like that and stuff, and you could tell that we were really on top in that first half, and the West Ham back four and keeper, they were arguing amongst themselves. I was thinking, we've rattled them here, we've rattled them. And in at half time, I remember speaking to my uncle at half time, and I said that's probably the best half of football that I've seen from us this season. And if we'd have gone out and played like that in the second half, I definitely think we would have won the game. I would go as far as saying that. I thought we were that good in the first half. Even for the first half of the second half as well, we were on top and we were playing well. But obviously, they scored the goal that gets ruled out by VAR, which was correctly ruled out. Antonio sees Melier behind him. It gives him a little elbow in the face. And yeah, definitely deserved to be ruled out. But I felt like Leeds, even though it was ruled out, the fact that West Ham had put the ball in the back of the net, we kind of started to fall apart a little bit then, which was very frustrating. And one player that I just want to mention is Liam Cooper. Now, I love Coops. I love everything that he's done for the club. And I know that there's a large sections of the fan base that really like him and don't mind him being in the team, but I just have to give my honest opinion. I thought he was poor yesterday. I just didn't think he looked confident. Charlie Cresswell was making his Premier League debut and he looked more assured in that back four than what Cooper did. And I think a lot of people that were sat near me were saying the exact same thing. Cooper usually likes to drive forward a bit. He likes to ping out a pass up the field. He wasn't doing that. He'd drive a bit forward, and then you could see he was shaking, and he were like wary of what were around him, and he'd pass it back to Melier or he'd pass it to Cresswell. And I was thinking, come on, Coops, like just have a bit of confidence, mate. And it just isn't there for him. And when Strike and Llorente are both fit and available or out of suspension or whatever, that should be our centre back partnership. And I'm sorry, I know that means Coops would have to be dropped, but I'm okay with that. I won't lose sleep over it if I'm honest. And one thing as well, I mean, I love Marcelo again, and I won't ever properly criticise him, but I have to question the substitutions. The fact that he took Dan James off at half time, which, yeah, he brings Harrison on, which is a really good option, obviously. But then to bring Rafinha off and put Roberts on the right-hand side, everyone in the crowd was just like, what is the thought process? Like, what is he thinking that Roberts can offer that Rafinha can't? Rafinha in the first half was the best player on the pitch. West Ham fans will probably say that. And then to bring him off for Tyler fucking Roberts. I'm sorry for swearing, but and this isn't me slagging Tyler off. I mean, he didn't do anything bad when he come on or anything, but you at least do a like for like substitution. Like Rafinha had a slight knock in the first half towards the end, which he came back from. But if Bielsa's thinking that he wants him fit for Watford next week, then that's absolutely fine. But put Somerville on. A like for like, a winger for a winger. Not a winger for a striker / cam. Like centre attacking mid. Like Tyler Roberts on the right-hand side. Like I'm not sure if we were winning 1-0 or if it was 1-1 when that change was made. I'll be honest, I can't remember. Either way, it's a bad sub. Because once Rafinha went off, we just lacked creativity for me. We had a few half chances. Click had one in second half that he should have buried or at least laid off to Harrison. That was to his left, which was very frustrating. Then West Ham did equalise through Jared Bowen, but it went down as a Firpo on goal. From where I was sat, or from where I was stood even, it looked like it took a knock, but it did look like it were going in anyway. But I've seen it back on the replay now, and it is an own goal. And again, that kind of came from Harrison just taking too much time on ball in order to pass it out or shoot or whatever. Like, too much time on ball, loses out to the West Ham player, plays it into Bowen, and it's just too easy for him to equalise. And then from that point, we did kind of slip off. But it got to 85th, 86th minute, and I'm thinking, right, best case scenario now is we get a draw because we were lacking creativity up front, so we knew we weren't going to win. All I was thinking is, right, just hold on for a draw, because a draw would have been a good result against them, if I'm honest. And then Antonio scored on 90th minute, and if I'm honest, I can't really remember the build up to the goal. I just remember Shaxx going in just to try and nick the ball off him, and he just mistimed it. And as soon as Antonio's 1-on-1, you just knew he were going to score. And as soon as he put that goal in, the ground just emptied with it, like, quite drastically. I stayed until final whistle. I mean, as annoying as it is, I do always like to see out the final whistle at least. But yeah, you look to your left and you see them Cockneys going mad, and they were nearly fighting with stewards, sorry, and everything, and they were trying to get on pitch. They were running on pitch like, have a bit of class about you, do you know what I mean? But it is what it is. They won the game, and I think a lot of them will have been on that coach going home counting the lucky stars, if I'm honest, because for me, that I'd draw written all over it until kind of the last 15 minutes. But it is what it is. I expected a loss in this game, but given how the game went and how it ended and how it was lost, I was bloody gutted, to say the least, walking out of the ground. But I've said it for a few weeks now, guys, and I am going to stick by it. The results are going to come. There's no way that if we keep playing like we did against West Ham yesterday, we will hurt teams and we will beat teams very convincingly in this league. There are teams in this league that are much worse than us. Norwich, for me, are destined to go down. Like, they've not even drawn a game. They've lost all 6 games now. For me, I know we've drawn against them both, but Burnley and Newcastle are worse than us, in my opinion. And Southampton are as well, if I'm honest. And, we've got the next few games: Watford, Southampton, Wolves, and Norwich. They're the next 4. If after these next 4 games, I mean, in this next 4 games, I expect us to win at least 2 of them, at least. I fancy us to beat Watford, if I'm honest, at Elland Road next week. I unfortunately will not be at that game because I've got to work, unfortunately. But yeah, I expect us to win that one. Southampton away. It's a tough place to go, is St Mary's, when there's a crowd. I mean, even if we say a point there, Wolves is one that, if we lost, it's like, well, I know they've not had the greatest of starts, but Wolves are a decent side. So worst case scenario is we may lose that game. But then we've got Norwich now. I'm sorry, no disrespect to Norwich. If we get beat by Norwich, I don't care if we beat Watford, beat Southampton and beat Wolves. If we lose to Norwich, then I will be worried. Like, very worried. Well, I say that. I mean, if we've won the previous 3, then maybe not as much. But, if it's still a few shaky results and then they beat us as well, I mean, there's going to be serious questions. But fingers crossed that the results just start coming, guys. I mean, the performances are there. Like, if we were Norwich, getting beat every game, but actually playing bad and not really creating much and not offering much, I would be in a much worse mood about it at the minute. But the performances are there. We have the players. We've got a few players injured. Once they're all back fit, I have no doubts that we will survive in this league this season. My new prediction for our finish is about 13th or 14th now. I think 13th, 14th, I would be happy with that, and we keep rebuilding. I feel like certain sections of the fan base, because we finished 9th last season, expect us to either finish the same or like go higher, 8th, 7th. But based on the opening 6 games, guys, I think that's very unlikely. Don't get me wrong, we could turn it round and it could happen, but I really can't see it. I expect 13th at the highest, maybe 15th lowest. Anything, 13th, 14th, 15th. But yeah, and I feel like I've got it out of my system now. Speaking about it now, the therapy session's now over. That's the end of the post-match reaction for Leeds United 1, West Ham 2. As I said earlier, guys, hit me up with your thoughts and opinions on the game in the comment section. Please like, please subscribe, and my vlog from the game will be uploaded at some point tomorrow, guys. So keep an eye out for that, and I will see you in the next video, people. Thank you very much.